Hi everybody, Nick with you. Thanks for joining me on my channel. And as always, if you're new, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. It's time for another Wheat Kings recap. This is for Wednesday, November the 1st, 2023. Wheat Kings hoping to win their third straight as they host the Prince George Cougars, who lead the BC division. 2,118 fans attended Bristol Place for this game. And it starts early with a goal on the Prince George side, the 153 mark. Arjun Bawa gets his first with the assist from Colin Zimmer, and it's 1-0 Prince George. Brandon will respond later in the period at the 16:23 mark. Jaden Weens will get his fourth, the assists from Nolan Flamond and Quinn Mantai, and we're tied at 1 after one period. Penalties in that period at the 2:14 mark. Prince George's Keaton Dalhaniak gets called for interference, and then at 17:13, Roger McQueen for Brandon gets called for slashing. In the second period, just the one goal and a questionable one at that. Riley Height gets his 8th for Prince George. He essentially steals the puck from Caden Sadler-Kang in the Brandon zone, trips him up, and then manages to get it past Carson Bjarnason for the goal. The argument is made that it shouldn't count, but in the end it does, and it's 2-1 Prince George after 2. Quite a few penalties in the second period. 30-33, Matt Henry for Brandon gets called for slashing and unsportsmanlike, gets a 4-minute penalty for that. At 9:45, Prince George's Tarek Parasak, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that properly, gets called for roughing. At 13:23, Rylan Rosma from Brandon gets called for kneeing. At 16:57, another Brandon penalty. Matt Henry goes back in, this time for interference. And that would lead to a very short power play for Prince George as Riley Height gets called for hooking 30 seconds later. And then with 7 seconds left in the period, Tarek Parasak is back in for tripping. So Wheaties have a power play to start the third. Now in the third, they don't capitalize on that power play, but they do tie it up midway through. At the 10:50 mark, Nate Danielson gets his third with the assists from Rylan Rosema and Luke Shipley, and we're tied at 2 after 3 periods of play. Only the 2 penalties in that period. Prince George's Jet Lajoie gets a double-minded for high sticking at the 3:30 mark, and then at 12:29, Prince George again Tyson Budzkowski is called for checking from behind. So on overtime we go, and at the 4:38 mark, Bauer Dumansky gets his second of this campaign for Prince George to win it, and there were no penalties. So the final score last night, 3-2 Prince George in overtime over the Brandon Wheat Kings, and they pretty much stole this victory. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to be unbiased in these videos, but that goal in the second period should not have counted. This game should not have gone to overtime, and that missed call was absolute garbage. So, anyway, shots on goal. Prince George had 12 in the first, 11 in the second, 7 in the third, and the 1 shot in overtime for a game total of 31. Brandon had 6 in the first, 8 in the second, 10 in the third, and 2 in overtime for a game total of 26. Neither team was able to capitalize on the power play. Prince George was 0 for 5. Brandon was 0 for 7. Face-offs, Prince George took 29 of 50 for 58%. Brandon took 21 of 50 for 42%. Goalies for Prince George, Ty Young stopping 24 of 26, getting 923 save percentage for the Troubles, while Carson Bjarnason stopped 28 of 31 for 903 save percentage. Your 3 stars, Bjarnason got the first star honors with 28 saves. Ty Young for Prince George with 24 saves got the second star, and Bauer Dumansky with the overtime winner got the 3rd star for Prince George. The next home game for the Brandon Wheat Kings is going to be on November 11th, Remembrance Day, when they host the Regina Pats. Of course, I will be at the Westover Place for that game, front row of Section 108 in the southeast corner. If you're there, come and say hi. I'd love to meet you. Now, what did you think of the game? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe to Nick Adams on YouTube and click on that bell. Turn on notifications so you'll be reminded of new content. We'll see you again.